We really did think that our generation was going to be the generation to not give in to awful trend cycles of the past, such as nicotine, hello, vaping, the awful trend that is called heroin chic, and the anti-aging industry. And all of those are very rampant. She's back. And she's very strong. I'm actually very anti-vaping, by the way. I don't vape. I vaped once when I was like a teenager and I died. So please learn from my mistakes. Thank you. Okay, you probably don't live under a rock if you're watching a video essay, but Madonna is getting shitted on left and right online right now, specifically for her choices in her anti-aging work that she has gotten. The most recent one I saw are specifically like comparisons of like other women who are much more natural than she is and how they're aging gracefully so much better than she is. Listen, I'm not out here being like a mega Madonna fan by any means, but I'm sure your mom is a great lady. Good on her that she got less plastic surgery, I guess, but could she have ever written like a virgin? Probably not. So like a virgin. My favorite thing in the news right now is the guy who's trying to return back to being 18. I know you're wondering, yes, he is a mega millionaire. Johnson, 45, is an ultra-wealthy software entrepreneur who has more than 30 doctors and health experts monitoring his every bodily function. This year, he's on track to spend at least $2 million on his body. He wants to have the brain, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, tendons, teeth, skin, hair, this is where it gets fun, bladder, penis, and rectum of an 18-year-old. Okay, I know I don't talk about it like a lot on my channel, but every morning I like wake up with this pit in my stomach and like my chest squeezing really tight and I can't take like a full deep breath and like this feeling of impending doom all the time. And it like really weighs heavy on me. And I just feel like I can't get past this darkness that I feel because my rectum will never be that of an 18-year-old now that I'm 23 years old. And it really keeps me awake at night. It's actually the reason that I started antidepressants. So anyway, Johnson, if that's your first or last name, whatever the fuck your name is, have fun with your 18-year-old rectum. The idea and act of anti-aging is not new, okay? However, there's this strong, weird, twisted idea that to be young is seen as the pinnacle of health and beauty. And is that even true? Talking about health, I take my health very seriously, and that's why I'm so excited to say that today's sponsor is Care/of. Thank you so much, Care/of, for collaborating with me today on this video. If you didn't know, Care/of is a subscription service that ships high-quality powders, supplements, and vitamins straight to your door every month. If you're anything like me, you might have trouble deciding what vitamins you even need. If you're overwhelmed by the process, Care/of's quiz takes all the guesswork out of building your routine. The quick quiz asks you questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health goals, recommending the right vitamins and supplements for your specific needs and goals. I used to be really annoyed when my mom would try to get me to take my vitamins when I was younger, and I was never ever consistent with it. Care/of helps me with being organized and consistent with my health journey. Here's my Care/of box. I've been taking Care/of for a little over a month now, and one of the vitamins that I'm so happy that I take now is B complex. It supports the nervous system and helps reduce my occasional fatigue, and it's really important that I take this, especially because I am vegan. I also take rhodiola because it supports a healthy response to occasional stress and supports endurance and recovery after exercise, because your girl has been weightlifting again. Care/of's daily personal packs are made of a plant-based film that makes it compostable. Made from good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by the latest science and research, so you can feel good about what you're putting into your body. I love Care/of because it's so easy to just take the quiz online and then it comes to my door every month. And I love that I can retake the quiz as my health goals change for myself. Take Care/of's quiz and see what supplements and vitamins they recommend for you. You can click the link below and use my code Nicole Rafiee, and you can get 50% off of your first order with Care/of. Thank you, Care/of. So like we said, the act of anti-aging, not new at all, okay? Like some of the anti-aging treatments that we use present day have been traced back to as far as the Egyptians using them. Cleopatra used to tone her face with apple cider vinegar and used honey as a moisturizer. I used to tone my face with apple cider vinegar. And then my high school boyfriend told me every morning that my face smelled like feet. Anyway, the first female ruler in China's history, Wu Zetian, was known for her skincare regimes. Her most famous anti-aging approach was known as fairy powder. That's a little bit something different here in 2023. But retin A was initially developed in the late 60s to treat acne, but later in the 80s, it became associated with reducing wrinkles and the appearance of aging. And then one of the most popular anti-aging procedures used today is Botox.
You don't look upset.
Oh, it's the Botox. I can't show emotion for another hour and a half.
Injecting a toxin into the skin might not seem like the best idea for reducing wrinkles, but it has been proven to work again and again. Originally used to reduce muscle spasms, Botox works by blocking signals to the muscles, which can relax them and give the face a smoother appearance. Listen, a bitch has Botox, okay? It's me. I'm the bitch. I made a video about this previously. I think it's like 2 years now. I didn't get it for anti-aging purposes. I actually got it done in my masseter muscle in my jaw because I broke my night guard from clenching it too hard in my sleep. So I didn't want my teeth to crack in half because my dentist was like, your teeth are going to crack in half, all of them one day. Like, you're going to be toothless. And I was like, okay, great. Anyway, even though I didn't use it for anti-aging reasons, I got it for TMJ. And without Botox being used so heavily, like for cosmetic reasons, we wouldn't know that it has like other purposes like sweating or TMJ or migraines. Like, you can get Botox injected into your armpits if you want. And like, oh my God, you stop sweating. It's crazy. But I feel like I've noticed a shift in our culture, if you will. I feel like I've noticed a shift that younger and younger and younger people are suddenly worrying about anti-aging, when back then it used to be more about older people worrying about how to like reverse aging or stop aging or prevent even more further aging. And I kind of have an idea as to why this shift has happened. So when quarantine started, skincare was like on the rise. People stopped wearing makeup as much and transitioned into caring more about skincare because we were staying at home, we were wearing masks, we didn't want to wear as much makeup. We were watching a lot of Skincare by Hiram, and we're like, okay, we might as well use this time to get our skin together while no one sees us. A lot of people learned so much about their skin in this time. Like, so many more people know about skincare ingredients, I feel like, than ever before. And people are also much more willing to invest more money into skincare than they did before. I think a lot of jobs and creators were also birthed because of this time. I feel like there's new esthetician and facial spas like every single corner of a major city. You can dermaplane, you can get a chemical peel, you can get extraction. You pay someone to like literally pick at your skin. Personally, I do that shit for free in front of my mirror for 2 hours a night. I'm just kidding. I don't do that anymore. I've gotten better. And plus, so many skincare creators have been born because of this, and I follow so many of them. But when I say young people are now into skincare, I mean like children are now really heavily into skincare. When I was 12, the only thing that like touched my face was like the Clean and Clear Bursting Bubbles cleanser that I had for way too many years, and it was definitely expired, but like I used like 1 pump a month. Maybe a Neutrogena face wipes that burn the shit out of my skin, and like I would steal Nivea cream from my mom sometimes. That would only touch my face like when the moon was right. Like the moon was in its waxing gibbous stage, and I'm like, now is the time to do my skincare. So it wasn't consistent at all. Now, so many kids own Drunk Elephant and are doing fucking skincare smoothies in their pastime. So fine, you blow my mind. Oh, Nikki, you're so fine. So fine, you. And like every time that you push down on one of the moisturizers, that's like $5 within itself. Anyway, it got so extensive that Drunk Elephant actually put out a statement on TikTok urging kids in Sephora and Ulta to clean up after themselves making these skincare smoothies.
Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody, yeah.
I thought it wasn't happening until I went to an Ulta the other week, and all of the Drunk Elephant literally looked like children played with it, because that's exactly what happened. Anyway, sorry to all the Sephora and Ulta employees. Stay safe. Anyway, I think once that skincare started to be on the rise, medical grade skincare also started to become on the rise. Everyone and their mom is trying to get on retinol, specifically like tretinoin, and they will recommend that shit to you for any problem you have. You're like, oh, I have eczema. Try tretinoin. Okay, I have really bad cystic acne. Try tretinoin. I'm going through a really bad divorce, and I'm grieving my ex-lover. Okay, try tretinoin. Retinol increases skin cell production, proliferation. It helps unclog pores. Retinol also exfoliates your skin and increases collagen production, which can reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, giving your skin a fresher, plump appearance. Everyone and their literal mother hopped on the retinol train. So did I. And my skin just absolutely cannot handle it. My skin does not tolerate retinol at this time. I tried many different things. It doesn't want it. And I was so sad. I was like, no, no, I want to use retinol so bad. My little smile lines. Oh no, what am I gonna do? And I think our transition into a heavy skincare focus in the beauty world made anti-aging much more mainstream to younger and younger people. Mainstream is probably the wrong word, but what I want to say is more relevant to Gen Z and millennials versus the older demographic it had previously. Like the only anti-aging product that I could really think of from the past is like Olay's regenerative resurfacing cream, whatever. And then like now, everything is anti-aging. Everything. And if we're going to talk about anti-aging, let's talk about baby Botox. They give Botox to babies. The babies love it. The babies demand Botox. They're actually their number one demographic right now. People like to call this preventative Botox. And Dr. Palermino agrees. Preventative Botox is just Botox. It's just marketing. Botox wears off every 3 to 4 months, and then you just need to get more Botox. When I see male dermatologists on TikTok telling their female followers that the best age to prevent preventative Botox is 23, it makes me want to scream. I'm 23. I actually read this amazing article on CNN. This is the thing that has aged me. I highly recommend that you guys give it a read, but it talks about how young people are increasingly incorporating anti-aging products and treatments into their beauty regimes much younger than before. In 2012, fewer than 20% of US women between 18 and 24 years old considered anti-aging skincare to be important, according to a survey conducted by market research company. By 2018, another US-focused study found that more than 50% of 18 to 24-year-old women said that they wanted to add wrinkle-defying products into their routine. And in the past year, Reddit's largest skincare community, boasting 1.3 million members, has been awash with pleas from users claiming to be teenagers, including wrinkles at 19, premature aging at 16. What are my options? I'm 16. I'm thinking about Botox because of my forehead wrinkles. The post authors appear panicked as they ask for recommendations and reassurance. If I look like this now, what will I look like at 30? Anti-aging products are no longer just for older beauty consumers. There's a new beauty persona called the skinvestors, a first-gen, science-first beauty consumer who sees skincare as an investment. Skinvestors are informed, investigative, and favor science-first derma and skin tech brands backed by evidence. So the marketing of anti-aging products have shifted from the focus on science and proof. And I agree with this, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I'm more knowledgeable now about skincare ingredients, and like my boyfriend who just got a skincare routine not that long ago, he knows all these ingredient names and everything because it's suddenly very important. Like, sorry, I'm not going to pay $30 for a serum or face cream if I don't agree with any of the ingredients in it or know that my skin likes those ingredients. A 10th grader urges viewers to gently tap in eye cream if they want to avoid unwanted sagging and to always apply excess product to the hands, neck, and décolletage because those are the places we show age the quickest. I do this. It's not that I'm doing it for society, she said in a video interview. It's mainly for me. I just don't like the look of wrinkles. And that's probably because society has conditioned me to not like the look of wrinkles. But here we are. It's fine. So I'll prevent it if I can. And this is something I actually touched on in my last video titled, She's Too Young for You, Bro. We have basically been taught that beauty and youth is one and the same. Particularly, a woman's value is only in her youth. I'm not exempt from this. The main reason that I started wearing sunscreen every single day religiously was because I saw that photo of that trucker whose half of his face was exposed to the sun and then half of it wasn't, and how much his face had changed just from being exposed to sun exposure. Or also the pair of twins who one of them wore sunscreen a lot and then the one didn't. That sold me. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be fucking young forever. I found the fountain of youth and it's just sunscreen. And it horrifies me that the fact that I already had a skin cancer scare before was not the reason that got me to suddenly start wearing sunscreen every day. It was these photos, like these like scare tactics. I had a skin cancer scare when I was still in college. I just had a little birthmark on my hip and I went to the dermatologist and I got a full body like checkup where they like look at all your little moles on your little body and they're like, that one looks funky. And they basically take a little hole puncher and they hole punch your little birthmark out. That's where I got hole punched. And at like 19 years old, I was told that it had a mild chance of turning into skin cancer. So I got it removed. And I asked, like, okay, what was this from? And they said, like, we're going to say 50% genetic and 50% sun exposure. And I don't get that much sun exposure because I burn very easily. But it was enough that I already had a skin cancer scare and I didn't start wearing sunscreen every single day because of that. Other than sunscreen, my skincare is still very much so rooted in anti-aging. I tap in my eye cream with my ring finger because it's the weakest finger so that it can prevent wrinkles. The fact that I even use an eye cream when I'm 23. I mean, I've used collagen creams. I've considered taking collagen powder. I've tried retinol many times. I just went to the dermatologist last week because I had a rash and I almost asked them for tretinoin and I was like, oh my gosh, should take advantage. And I also do want to emphasize that there's this huge consumerism and capitalist side to all of this that I can't even begin to touch on because that could be a video in its own right. I'd love to make a video one day about the excess buying of makeup and skincare and collections, especially for social media, versus the Project Pan de-influencing recession side of things, especially on TikTok. That's the side that I'm on currently. But just know that this definitely feeds into our want to consume anti-aging products as well. But ultimately, is any of this really problematic? Is it problematic that younger and younger people are caring about anti-aging? Clearly something is problematic because I'm making a video about it. But where does it draw the line where it goes from like, okay, I'm just taking preventative measures, like it's really not that deep, to wow, I am being so obsessive with this and causing mental strain because I fear aging so much. Let's talk obsessiveness now. And a bitch knows something about obsessiveness. I've diagnosed OCD. Anyway, one of the most like horrific trends that I'm happy hopefully is like in the past, but there was a time where on TikTok a lot of estheticians and plastic surgeons would come online, especially to TikTok, and be like, here's what procedures I think this celebrity should get if they want to optimize their most beautifulness. If they want to look the prettiest, they should get these procedures. Here's all the things that I think that they should change about their face, even though they have never expressed wanting to do so, but I think they should. For example, Natalia Dyer, a beautiful woman who was criticized so much for her looks from an esthetician who was giving her procedure recommendations when she didn't ask for that. It was so unsolicited.
So, if I was Natalia's injector, this is what I would do. We start by treating those masseters, and we all know how much I love treating masseters to help slim the face. Next, I would actually add a little bit of chin filler just to help fill out her chin and make her whole face more of like a heart shape. Next, I would add a little bit to the lips. She does seem to have more thin skin, and we want to prevent that from getting thinner and create more collagen. All right, let's see what the final product would give us. Ta-da!
And extremely inappropriate. I can't go a day online without some sort of anti-aging rhetoric being forced down my throat, mainly because the internet probably knows that I am a 23-year-old girl. My FBI agent let them know. For example, anti-aging face exercises, anti-aging yoga. Notoriously not smiling. The Kardashians are kind of known for this, like holding expressions back to not create fine lines within your face.
Today's the day I'm going to tell you how I learned to stop using the muscles in my face. This is one of my most asked questions. You might think it's sad or depressing, but this is actually how it happened. When I was in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends and I didn't get very good grades, so I had a lot of free time on my hands. And when I would get home from school, I would sit in front of my mirror and I would practice having a full-blown conversation with myself, being happy, sad, angry, mad, everything, without using the muscles in my face, hoping that in the future, 30-year-old me, 40-year-old me would not have wrinkles and would be able to talk and be happy. You might think it's sad. I know that this sounds weird, but that's actually how I did it. So if you want to learn how to do it, sit in front of the mirror, just try and practice. It took hours. I'll admit it took hours, but it is worth it, I'm telling you, and it's possible.
Anti-aging straws, recommending sleeping on your back because you don't want your face to be lopsided, because if you sleep on one side, then your face is going to be asymmetrical, and like if you're asymmetrical, then you're not beautiful.
If you're sleeping on your side, you're creating wrinkles on your face every single night that not even Botox can fix.
I'm just not sold that all of these like new little advancements and gadgets and anti-aging ideas are being forced upon young people all the time, that they have to think about like, oh my God, I am aging every single day by the second. I need to stop this right now. I need to go get that fucking stupid ass straw right now because God forbid if I get little mouth wrinkles. And unfortunately, I think through many different avenues, especially women, our whole lives we've been taught that growing older and aging, we will lose our value. I read a lot of Woman's World magazine when I was a kid. Somehow we just kept getting the subscription to our house and I would just keep reading it. I was like 10 years old and reading a magazine that was really not targeted for my age demographic at all. And every single headline had something to do with weight loss. It was like, here's the secret weapon to fat loss. Here's the AR-15 that will personally shoot the fat off your ass itself. You don't even need to pull the trigger. Goodbye, fat. Thank you, AR-15. My favorite is Dr. Oz recommended anti-aging miracle in your local IKEA store. First of all, I voted against Dr. Oz in the Pennsylvania elections. You're welcome. I single-handedly saved Pennsylvania and the country. So the only thing that would be like an anti-aging miracle for me and IKEA is like their new spring collection. Like soft ass, juicy, warm, light hole. I've lost years off my life already, like trying to get my hands on it, and I can't. And I just want the little warm little light hole. So I think another unfortunate contributor to this all is celebrities also giving this false idea of aging gracefully. Like, what even does that fucking mean, to age gracefully? A lot of times they're gonna push their own skincare lines and be like, this is the secret to my youth, and then fail to mention the extensive procedures they've gotten, facials that they have access to, personal estheticians that come to their house and probably like wash their face for them. We really like to keep this illusion of aging gracefully. Not to mention all the editing and also filters that make everyone believe that you have like flawless skin. I think J-Lo, which is like America's 20-year-old, and Paula Abdul, who just edited herself recently to look like an actual 14-year-old at homecoming. I know she doesn't look like that, and that's okay. Like even me, I will not use filters on social media, except if it's the little mustache filter or the piss filter. That's gotten me in trouble a lot. But my videos, lighting, like all the extensive lighting that I have set up, and then also iPhone cameras with like the natural blurring that they do. If you saw me in person, that's what I look like. But online, don't perceive that I actually look this fucking smooth, okay? There's a ring light right in front of me. That's why I feel like there's a lot of importance in the transparency about what procedures you may have to your face if you're going to at least talk about it online. Transparency if you are editing or using filters. I'm so grateful that now when you do use a filter on like TikTok or Instagram, it'll say it in the corner that you are using a filter. And I don't know who started this, but women are seen as old as soon as they hit 30. You're supposed to be married, have your first child, own a house. And then immediately when the clock strikes 12 on your 30th birthday, you become a spinster ass bitch. You're old. Some of my favorite creators online have talked about being over 30 and how everyone is like up in arms, like, oh my God, what? You look so young though. As if 30 is old. Oh my God, why do you not look like a haggard old bitch when you're like 35? I'm confused. Believe it or not, this is what being in your 30s looks like. This is what looking your age actually looks like. And that's okay. Madeline, one of my all-time favorite TikTok creators, has talked about this many times because she gets comments all the time. They're like, oh my God, you look like you're in your 20s. And she's like, no, I look like I'm in my 30s because I am in my 30s.
Yes, being in your 30s is still very young. I think we as a culture like know this on some intrinsic level, but we just don't apply it to anybody who looks remotely feminine. Like if I was like a tech bro named Brad with a Tesla who was a multi-millionaire, every article written about me would be talking about how young I was if I was 34. But because I'm 34 and instead look like this and am not rich, the notional understanding of my existence is like hag. So I think it has a lot to do with the commodification of the feminine and our society's like creepy fascination with like feminine youth and purity. Weird. But yeah, despite all of that, you too will still be young in your 30s. And even when you're not young anymore, your life will still have value and be meaningful.
So I am 34, but I think I look 34. All of my friends who are in their mid-30s look very similar to me. And another thing to remember is that like for TikTok, I obviously try to find nice lighting to record in, but look, watch. Okay, here's the good lighting. Watch, if you change it to look, if I recorded like this, you would see that I have fine lines in my face, right? Like, it's just, we all look different everywhere we are. Like, look, see? You can see my age. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Just a funny little anecdote, but when my mom was going through cancer treatment, every single doctor would tell her, and she's 52, mind you. She was 52. She's not dead. She's just not 52 anymore. Every single doctor would be like, you're so young. You were so young. Like, your body's going to handle this great. Your body's going to handle treatment great. You're very young. And she'd be like, me? I'm not young. But it's true. Anyway, she just thinks about that a lot because the doctors were all being very genuine. They're like, you are very young. Your body's handling this great. I think it's also really cool that a lot of women in their 40s and 50s and 60s recently have been showing like, hey, your life doesn't stop or end when you get older. Jennifer Coolidge has obviously had work done. Whatever. I don't care. I hope that everyone has understood that from this video. I do not care if you get work done. But I love how she talks about now that the peak of her career is now at the age of 61 and how happy she is with her life. She is so loved universally. Plenty of women have started their careers later on in life and defy the thought that women lose their beauty and value when they get older because it's a big fat myth. Which brings me to my next point. A lot of women are actually becoming pro-aging recently. A lot of women are embracing going fully gray now, growing out their roots, stop dyeing their hair altogether. A lot of people are adopting this new aging is a privilege mentality.
I don't want to look like 30 when I'm 52. Why should I look younger than my age? I earned 52 with dignity. I wear my wrinkles and gray with proud. Aging is a privilege.
I feel confident, I feel strong, and I'm at peace. I'm not trying to look younger. I just want to be my best self. And right now, that's exactly how I feel.
And also, I have to like show you guys one of my favorite TikToks that have to do with pro-aging.
Starting a pro-aging routine out of spite for the grotesque anti-aging industry.
And I think it's a badass movement. You should not have to feel guilty or shameful when you reach a certain age because you didn't do anything wrong. But we're definitely conditioned to think that we did. And while this mentality is badass and great and I love it, it can sometimes also get a little skewed and wrong in my opinion when it becomes shameful to those who do choose to get anti-aging procedures, like for example, Madonna. None of us are exempt from the hold the anti-aging industry has on us, and I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. There is a difference between shaming women for doing what they want with their bodies versus being against new fads and trends that make women insecure and feel like they have to change their bodies. Maybe you don't want to cover your gray hair, but you do choose to wear night cream every night. I think it's important not to adopt this like holier than thou complex with it all. I don't plan on getting Botox in my life, at least like not right now. I don't see that in the cards for me, but I wear sunscreen every day and I'll probably try retinol again in the future if my skin allows it. My goal for myself is to be as healthy and fit as possible when I'm 99 and like shitting myself. I've seen how much like positive, healthy life choices have an impact on older people, and I want to do that for myself. But I can also be like the healthiest person alive and eat all my fruits and veggies and exercise a shit ton and wear sunscreen every single day and still die tomorrow. So it's cursed regardless. Personally, my own goals are focusing on health more than anti-aging. Like, let's not protect our skin, not for the purpose of not aging, but because we don't want skin cancer. Shifting my own personal focus that health is more important to me than aesthetics has worked great for me. And everyone is different, and everyone does not have to follow that same path of thinking. And maybe my mind will change on all these things. That's a potential. I'm only 23. Reach out to me in 7 years when I'm 30, if I'm still here. Like on this platform, not like dead. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure that you leave it a like because it helps me out so much. Also, make sure to leave a comment, any crazy anti-aging fads and tips and gadgets that you have seen recently that are blowing your mind. It's not the right phrase for it. Make sure you subscribe if you want to be nasty. If not, you're disgusting. Also, make sure you have your bell notifications on so you know every single time I post, or else you are gross. If you want to follow me on my other social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, it's just at Nicole Rafiee. And if you want to follow me on my TikToks, at Nikki Nasty. I'm gonna go now. I have a lot to do because I am trying to get my rectum to be that of an 18-year-old's once again. Thank you. Bye.